Spider-Avenger Miller, finally back at it again, this time with a new setup. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But we are looking at the X-Shot Ranger, an 8-shot bolt-action blaster, which is essentially like the Berserko. So let's get into it. Included with the Ranger is the blaster itself, darts, and priming handles. The priming handles can be just screwed in. You could either leave one in or both in. Doesn't really matter. External overview, starting up at the front, there is no in-strike barrel lug. This is a X-Shot blaster after all. Down below, we do have the X-Shot kind of pick rail. This is somewhat like a Picatinny rail, but it's a lot wider, so it does accept some attachments. We got one up here, and then one at the top, which affixed to it, I have the included scope. Scope doesn't magnify anything. It's just a big, bulky scope. It's the same one that comes with the rangefinder, and honestly, it kind of looks cool on its own, but adding the scope just really helps build this ultra caliber carbine. And then back here we do have the 8-round cylinder. This can spin freely. It does have a little bit of a hiccup when you're spinning it, but it's not that terrible. Like, you could spin this very comfortably, and it works pretty well. And then back behind you have the priming handles, which can be installed on either the right or the left hand side. To prime, you do that. The prime strength itself is actually pretty smooth. It does feel ratchety because it does have a ratcheting system, and you could actually do that. I'm not really sure why you'd want to do that, but you could just like that. But it works really smoothly, and if you really wanted to, you can unscrew these. You can have only one inside the blaster. You could have two. And it really doesn't matter. I think it just depends on, do you like to have your hands up here, or do you like to grip it like this and do that? So that's kind of your own call. And down to the trigger. The trigger pull is pretty decent, and the blaster does have slam fire, meaning you can hold down the trigger, and when you pull back the priming handle, it automatically fires. This increases your rate of fire while slightly sacrificing your accuracy. Up above, I forgot to mention, we do have a little pick rail on the scope. I don't really know what you put on there, unless you just want a nice little accessory, but it works decently well. And now getting down to the grip. The grip overall is pretty comfy. It does feel a little cramping because it is a thumb hole stock, and the thumb hole area is pretty thin, but it's not that terrible. I actually think this is a little more comfortable than the Berserko grip. Now getting back to the stock. This is a fixed-in-place, non-adjustable, non-removable stock, which you can hold darts in, and the dart fit actually is pretty well. It doesn't grip them too tight, and it is a really comfy fit, and you could actually easily just take them out, load them, prime it, and then fire it. That is an external overview of the X-Shot Ranger. Now I will show you firing. Starting off with the included Insanity darts. Slam fire by holding down the trigger. So firing the Ranger is very fun, but a few minor issues I do need to go over real quick. Like I said, the prime is very smooth. However, because it's on a ratcheting system, it doesn't always complete its cycle. It sometimes will get stuck in the back, and then sometimes it doesn't auto retract all the way, so sometimes it will be out like that. Or you get the gist. So it kind of affects how you prime it a little bit. You have to be very deliberate, and I do like that it does have an auto retract. However, because of that, you have to sometimes make sure that it's fully pushed in, otherwise it won't fire. So just be cautious of that. Second of all, as you saw, the accuracy was pretty broad, and I believe that's due to this barrel, but the performance is still pretty decent. So I put this thing over my chronograph, and with the Insanity darts that I came with, I was getting an average of about 84 FPS, which is very good. However, that number was taken over a lot of different shots because the range out of this thing was so weird. I was getting 60s, I was getting 70s, I was getting 50s, and I believe that's due to the barrel. The barrel itself is pretty wide, however, because of how long it is, it kind of messes up the trajectory. And with waffle head like darts, which fly more accurate, they tend to kind of bounce off the barrel and they can droop down, they can droop to the left, to the right. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but still firing it was very fun. So that is all the objective information I can provide on this blaster. Not in my personal opinion. Overall, I really do like this blaster. It's very fun. It's very smooth. It cycles well, and it's overall a great pickup. Like, it's honestly, it feels like a cool carbine. It feels really nice. However, I do have a few complaints. You know me, I have to have complaints. Like I said, the priming handles are mainly my main complaint with how the ratcheting system works. You have to really make sure that the cycle is completed, otherwise it won't fire a whole lot. Next is, again, the barrel length. It is cool how it's sized for a proper adult. However, because of its length, it's not the most accurate thing in the world, which kind of bummed me out. But it's not terrible. Again, I would comfortably use this in like a basement war, and it's very fun. However, I do not think I will be currently using this blaster in a war, just because an 8-shot primary in a war where there's like Prometheuses and Nemesis on the field, yeah, good luck. But overall, still a very fun blaster. Now to the question, to buy or not to buy. If you are a performance gain nerfer and you're looking for a decently good plinking toy, yeah, definitely consider this one. It's a very good plinker, and if you want to look like the really cool sniper, you totally can. However, this is a very comparable blaster to the X-Shot Insanity Berserko. I would have it, but it's in my storage right now. But the Insanity Berserko is pretty much the exact same thing. It's just a lot smaller, and it feels a lot more for kids. This definitely feels like it's more for the older class. This one feels right for any kind of adult. It feels very solid. The Berserko feels very much like a child's toy. This feels like more for teenagers and adults. So if you're looking for a blaster to fit you and your body type, definitely go with this one. But if you're a younger kid, go with the Berserko. It's a little bit better in just the size and the overall accuracy. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, Dude Bros. And also, thank you so much to my friend Matthew behind the camera. He's kind of filling in for my tripod because I don't have the tripod anymore. And I hope you guys are excited to see this new setup in action. But much love, blast on, and stay tactical.
Stop.